Let us get into the infrastructure bill. Now, this happened over the past couple days. It has passed in the Senate, and I'm not sure if it actually passed the House today. People call me Ryan Long. I'm actually thinking about cutting this part off because it feels still a little too long. I think I need to trim this down a little bit. Anyway, let's talk about the infrastructure bill. So first, this is Vox. Okay, now Vox News tends to be very left biased, and this pretty much sums it up too, because this article has nothing negative about the bill. They don't talk about any of the negativities, and even if they do, it's just, the gaslighting version of it that you hate to see. So this is from Vox. What's in the new infrastructure bill and why it's a big deal? I gotta say, a lot of this stuff is important for America. No joke. Like, it is important that we redo the highways, redo everything. Honestly, everything is crumbling. The dam network that we have, like, we've got like 60 dams that are actually more. I think like a couple thousand dams, like hydroelectric dams, like the Hoover Dam, although that's one of the largest ones, but they're all over the place. And they provide a lot of electricity for different cities and stuff. These things are crumbling. They have a shelf life of around 55 to 60 years, and they're all about that old. So they're crumbling. So an infrastructure improvement bill is rather important, and it does tackle a lot of important things. But yes, it also has a lot of BS in it. So blah, 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 how awesome Biden is. Biden's amazing. He did this. That's what they're saying here. Anyway, this gets into some of the projects here. Transportation projects. The bill would spend $110 billion in new funds for roads, bridges, and related projects. It would also commit $39 billion for public transit, which the Biden administration describes as the largest federal investment in public transit in history, along with $66 billion for rail. It'd spend $42 billion on ports, airports, and related projects, and it would invest $11 billion in making America's roads safer. Okay, these are good things. All right, off to a good start. Reconnected communities. In the past few decades of road construction, many American cities have been physically divided by large highways, disproportionately affecting minority communities. This bill would spend $1 billion to reconnect many of these places. High-speed internet. The bill would spend $65 billion with a goal of providing broadband internet to all Americans, furthering aiming to boost competition among providers and reduce the cost of high-speed internet to make it more affordable. All good things. Electric cars. The bill would put $7.5 billion into a national network of electric vehicle chargers. It would also put $7.5 billion towards electrifying buses and ferries. These actions, the Biden administration said, are meant to create jobs, but also help tackle global warming by decarbonizing major components of American transportation systems. Funny enough, some tech guys, I think it was Jeff Bezos and was it Bill Gates? I don't remember exactly, the triumvirate of rich guys that are basically trying to dig through all of Greenland for I don't know if it's lithium, but it's for electric batteries, and they're just digging the earth for a different commodity for the next systems, and it's not better. It's just more of the same kind of thing. Anyway, I don't want to get sidetracked, but I do want to just throw this in. The infrastructure bill mandates drunk driving detectors for new cars. The $1 trillion infrastructure bill on page 2,702. Oh no, it's 2,702 pages. Where is it? Sensors embedded within a vehicle's cabin will track the driver's eye movement and monitor signs of being distracted, impaired, or tired. This is technology that they're trying to put in as far as the electric vehicle push. Yeah, so they're trying to put tracking equipment in your car. So that means they could shut down your car because they said that they wanted to be able to control your car. I guess there was an advocate, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Now, let me just add, drunk driving is terrible, okay? People who drunk drive, driving a car, those things are death machines. They can easily kill any person that isn't in a car. So if you're driving drunk, shame on you. All right, you shouldn't do it. It's a terrible thing to do. But putting facial recognition stuff that they can shut down your car via whatever network that they're installing so that they can monitor you in your car. Okay, that's a step way too far. All right, authoritarian measures for under the guise of protecting against drunk driving. All right, it is absolutely ridiculous. Another action on climate change, the bill would also make several other investments meant to combat climate change, including $28 billion for power grid infrastructure, resiliency, and reliability, in part to help expand for the reach of clean energy, and $46 billion to, in part, mitigate damage for floods, wildfires, and droughts. I find this really rich because for the first time in a long time, Donald Trump made us energy independent. Biden comes in and cuts that off, stops the pipelines, goes over to Russia and says, you can build your pipeline, goes to Canada and says, you can build a pipeline too. Go ahead, guys. We don't really care about American jobs. And now he's actually begging other foreign oil companies to give us gas and oil more. Like, we need more oil. Please produce more. It's like Texas could do it. Texas was doing it until you cut them off, Biden. And now this is what frustrates me, right? They cut people off. They say, that's bad. Trump did that and we can't do that anymore. Just like the vaccines. No, they won't take it if Trump could say to do it. Kamala, I'm talking about you. Specifically, you said you wouldn't take it if it was a Trump administration thing. Well, now he's gone and now everyone's pushing it. It's the same thing with all of this stuff. Now they're saying, well, we need resilience and reliability. And it's like, but we had it. You got rid of it. Look, I'm all for moving towards clean energy. Of course, I love this planet. I also don't want them to start digging up Greenland because they need to beat China to the lithium resources that I'm pretty sure that's why China's taken over in South America for the lithium. Anyway, the bill would also commit $21 billion to environmental remediation, particularly to clean up Superfund and brownfield sites, abandoned mines, and orphaned gas wells. Now, you know what? I'm all for fixing what we messed up. All right, sure, fine. Fix what we screwed up. That's cool. Instead of fracking and letting I felt an earthquake from a fracking incident in, I think it was North Carolina, in New York City when I was living there 10 years ago. It was pretty crazy to feel my building shake in Brooklyn. So look, we messed up a lot of the planet. I'm all for, bringing it back to nature and stuff. I'm living in nature. It's beautiful. But when we got this push for electric vehicles and, this whole electric movement or even wind power, once they build those blades, when those blades are out of commission, they don't decompose. They last forever. Thousands of them are building up over like the course of the past, I don't know, we've been using them more and more often, but they need to be replaced every so often. And when they stop being used, guess where they go? Into a landfill to sit and just do nothing, right? We can't recycle these things. They're built to withstand hurricane force winds. Even silicone, right? For sun energy, that stuff, it's dirty, right? They get replaced, and then what do you do with them? You throw them away, right? We need to figure out a new type of energy. That's what we need to do, not this making the same energy with a different source. This is also crazy too. Biden plans to hire 87,000 new IRS agents. I don't know what Nats Park is. I'm guessing it's some sort of stadium. But what I find crazy, this article goes into how a bunch of people that used to work at the IRS are talking about how most of their equipment isn't usable anymore. So they keep, sure, putting more money into it, but then they're talking about the equipment, and it's just because like the printers don't work because the ink cartridge hasn't been replaced. So they just buy a new printer instead of just replacing the ink cartridge. Throwing money at things that aren't run properly isn't going to make it run properly. We need to make them run properly. So giving them a budget of, oh my gosh, $80 billion. He's giving the IRS a budget of $80 billion in this infrastructure bill. And yet nowhere is it said that students should be taught how to pay their taxes. I mean, why isn't that part of the conversation? I didn't learn my taxes in school. I barely still know how to do my taxes. I hire a tax person. I'm lucky to have a partner that can handle it, and she knows what she's doing. And it's amazing. I don't tend to deal with the taxes, but I do pay my taxes. Rest assured. But government programs, they last forever and they are never updated. They're just more money. Oh, we'll just toss more money at it, and that's what's happening with the IRS. Great. And then we think about, this is from the New York Post. See, I didn't believe this at first. Biden's infrastructure bill is chock full of anti-white racism. Okay, look. I was like, is this real? So, for those who don't know, and they actually reference this in this, Biden had a bailout for farmers, right? But only minority farmers, not white farmers. If you were white, you were out of luck. You weren't able to get any access or any help. But if you were a minority, you got help. See, this frustrates me because I was grown and raised on meritocracy. Everyone, you earn your keep. Farmers, all farmers should have been given relief. In fact, the courts struck it down. They said this isn't constitutional. You are discriminating. And it's the same thing with this bill. The bill grants to install solar and wind technologies and generate jobs in areas decimated by closing coal mines and coal-fired electric plants. When contractors bid, the bill says minority-owned businesses will get selected first. What is up with that? I want the person who's best at the job doing the job, period. A good buddy of mine sent me a clip from Dirty Harry. Now, I've never seen Dirty Harry, but man, do I want to see it now. Clint Eastwood, classic, right? And in this scene, he's sitting in a room with an investigator or woman that's like, she's coming into like internal affairs, right? To make sure that women are equally, hired on the workplace. And he's like, all right, well, how fast can you run? And the woman's like, how dare you? You're just trying to get her, not get this position. He's like, no, I'm trying to save her life or her partner's life because she's out on the line. She's better knows what she's doing. He's trying to save that cop's life. She'd never made an arrest, and it was like, bravo. It had nothing to do with her being a female. It had everything to do with her lack of experience, right? That's what it was about. Meritocracy. Meritocracy should rule, not if whatever color skin you are. Oh, you need extra help. It reminds me of last year when Oxford said to its black students, you guys don't have to work as hard. You don't have to do as much work as all the rest of the students because you're having a tough time in life because you're oppressed. So we're going to help you, make it easier for you. How condescending is that? If I was black under that situation, I would be offended. And I'd be like, no, I'm doing that work because I'm just as good as everyone else. And this is the same kind of thing. It's these Democrats that act like that. They're saying all these people need help because they're oppressed. They're not as good and strong as these other people. And it's like, my goodness. The only racism I see is from the Democrats. And now it's in this infrastructure bill being pushed out. And that's not it. I couldn't even believe this. Why does the infrastructure bill include sexual orientation and gender identity language? Infrastructure. We're talking about infrastructure, right? We are talking about the infrastructure bill. Oh my gosh. Digital Equity Act. No individual in the United States may, on the basis of actual or perceived race, color, religion, national origin, sex, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, or disability should be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subject to discrimination under any program, activity that is funded in whole or in part with funds made available to carry out this title. In this bill, they contradict themselves. Race, actual or perceived, and yet they earlier in the bill it's saying minorities get it earlier. You have to compete. Well, minority people, they're going to get the bid. In this bill, it says it in the bill. So, like, according to its own words, they're breaking the law of the bill they're trying to put forward. What is this? Clowns. These people are clowns. That's what this is. It's just, it's so frustrating. This pisses me off too. Gosh. Where is it? Oh, this isn't the, yeah, here we go. Amnesty is not infrastructure. In this infrastructure bill, they are giving amnesty. Where does it say? Hold on. This pisses me off so much. The act would grant amnesty to virtually every illegal alien in the country. Estimates of which range from 11 million to 22 million. It also includes measures that encourage asylum fraud, increasing all types of legal immigration, and erase the line between illegal and legal immigration. I spent thousands of dollars for my wife to legally live in America with me because she's Swedish and we couldn't stay together. She had to go back every 3 months to, make sure that she could, not be in trouble because I wanted to do it legally. These people are pouring over the border in Texas, bringing COVID, and everyone's blaming Abbott and Texans for being free. How dare they? No, it's Biden's fault for leaving the border open. That's the problem. And now this infrastructure bill, illegal aliens are infrastructure? What is this? I mean, I'm all for legal immigration. That's what this country was founded on, right? I'm proud to have helped my wife. She has a green card. She can live in America with me, right? But these people are going to get amnesty because Biden told them to come. And sure enough, they slipped it into this bill. And yep, they're going to get amnesty. I don't know how that's infrastructure. It frustrates me to no end. It's just insulting that the Republicans would vote for this. 2,700 pages. Why are these bills this long? We don't know what this bill it actually is, and this people are still sifting through it to find stuff. They're still trying to see what kind of BS is in here. I guarantee you, none of the people who voted for this bill read the entire bill. I don't believe it. If someone tells me that they did, I don't even believe them. Get out of here. Nope, you don't. There's no way you read the entire bill. 2,700 pages. Yeah, right. I don't believe it.